Oh, Jesus Christ. Good morning. Today, we are forming a nightmare blunt rotation of Danganronpa characters. Usual rules apply. Most of my tier lists include a category that is some form of, like, normal. Doesn't do that. Whatever. This time, there is no normal category. Everyone will be smoking weed with me, for better or for worse. I did this because I think far too many characters would fall under the doesn't smoke weed category, and then this video would be boring and pointless. So, everyone will be smoking weed with me. They do not have a choice. Categories are good, chill, fun. I have a great time smoking weed with this person, and I would do it again. It's fine. Probably won't do it again. Weird. And my own personal hell, which everyone that ends up in this category will be my nightmare blunt rotation. Now, I don't know if this information is relevant, but a nightmare blunt rotation is like a hypothetical. It's not about whether or not these people actually smoke weed or not. It's just the concept. I used to smoke weed, and I don't anymore. I haven't in years. I probably never will again. It's all conceptual. Why are there noises? And look, new background. Yes, I actually am a human being that exists in the physical plane. I'm not confined to the white sheet background. How does that feel for you guys? Is it like I'm in a CP that is breach containment? Peko Peko Yama. I cannot picture this girl smoking weed. I'm gonna put her in It's Fine, probs won't do it again. It's not like overtly uncomfortable. It's just like I'm not having a great time. It's just weird, you know? Why do I look like a floating head? What is happening? Hero. I know everyone jokes about Hero being a stoner. I'm putting him in my own personal hell because Hero is very paranoid and very prone to freaking the fuck out. And, I would smoke weed with him, and I would, like, burp or make a funny noise, and he'd be like, "Are you possessed by aliens?" No, I'm not, Hero. Thank you, though. He would just start freaking the fuck out. And that's not the vibe. Akane. I'm gonna put Akane in It's Fine, probs won't do it again. I feel like, despite the nature of marijuana, she would get, like, silly and energetic and want me to do, like, car wheels with her. And it's like, don't make me do stuff. I am smoking the ganja. Also, I would go to the bathroom for like a minute, and she would eat quite literally everything in my entire refrigerator. Akane, queen, groceries are expensive. I cannot afford your munchies. Please relax. Chiaki. Good, chill, fun. Trying to look me in the eyes and tell me that Chiaki is not a stoner. Chiaki is 420 blazing it. Every day. I feel like the way I talk about weed makes me seem like an undercover cop. I don't know why I do that. Fuyuhiko. I cannot imagine Fuyuhiko smoking weed. I'm gonna put him in good, chill, fun. I feel like he'd be really unsure of everything he was doing. Like, he would just have no fucking clue, and I think that would be really entertaining and endearing for me to witness. Of him just being like, what am I doing? Am I doing this right? What is happening? And then he would keep denying that he's high until I'd be like, Fuyuhiko, look at me. Like, look at yourself. You're definitely high. And he'd be like, I'm not high. You're high. Like, alright, Fuyuhiko. Soda. My own personal hell. Soda would get incredibly nervous and self-conscious, and every 20 seconds he'd be like, am I being weird right now? I'd be like, Soda, I would say no, but because you keep asking that at least twice a minute, I'm gonna say yes now. Okay? Your vibes are bad. Get a hold of yourself. Leon. I'm gonna put Leon in It's Fine, probs won't do it again. I don't want to smoke weed with Leon. It would be very much like, dude, you're in a situationship and you're in his parked car at like 11 o'clock at night in a parking lot smoking weed, and you're just like, I could be in bed right now. Like, what am I doing? I don't want to be here. Like, he doesn't really say anything. I don't want to be a part of that. Mondo. I think Mondo would be like Fuyuhiko, where it would be very endearing to watch them try and figure out how smoking weed works. Toko. That is a nightmare. That is an absolute nightmare. I do not want to smoke weed with Toko. She would be so odd. I don't even know how to elaborate on it. It would just be such a horrendous time. I feel like she would be her normal self, but way worse. Izuru Kamakura. I don't know if I desperately want to smoke weed with Izuru, or if there's nothing in the world I want less. Like, once an hour, I'd be like, how are you feeling, Izuru? And he'd be like, I feel nothing. And I'd be like, great, awesome. That, or maybe it would unlock some humanity in Azuru. Azuru becomes addicted to drugs. It's canon. I'm gonna put him in weird, because perhaps he's a little more human when he is high on the supply. Byakuya! Byakuya, if you got him high enough, he would forget to be an asshole, and he would be, like, a little funny, and you'd laugh, and then he'd realize that he made you laugh, like, genuinely, and then he'd be like, you're still beneath me. You'd be like, whatever, man. Sure. I'm gonna put Byakuya on good, chill fun, because it would be a bonding experience. Like, he would be unable to retain his I'm better than you, aloof, dickhead thing while he's high. I would make fun of him for, like, participating in a commoner activity, and he'd be like, fuck you. Gundam. Gundam would, like, guffaw at the idea of smoking weed, and he'd be like, that is for humans. There is no drug on the mortal plane that can change the state of Gundam Tanaka's magnificent mind. And you'd be like, okay, try this. And then cut to 20 minutes later, and he's like, this marijuana must have been sourced from the Mirrorverse, for its potency was truly unexpected. And you'd be like, sure, Gundam. Whatever. I'm putting Gundam in good chill fun because that would be fucking hilarious. The sheer power of the concept of Gundam Tanaka smoking weed has frozen my iPad. Hifumi. Weird. Hifumi gets high and decides to share some of his thoughts with me. I don't want to hear Hifumi's thoughts. Nagito. I feel like we have two options with Nagito. He is either a little more normal than usual, because he's not thinking so much, or he is way worse. I'm putting Nagito in my own personal hell. I don't want to listen to Nagito talk uninterrupted without taking a single breath for hours about hope and despair and whatever the fuck. Nagito, shut the fuck up. Mukuru Ikusaba. I don't know why some of these characters I need to say the first and last name. I do the same thing with Azuru Kamakura. I just gotta say the whole name. Weird. She sits there in utter silence and then quietly gets up and leaves the room. And when I follow her to see what she's doing, she is cleaning weapons. And I'm like, should you be doing that while you are under the influence of substances? And she does not respond. It is unsettling and uncomfortable. Celestia Ludenberg. I'm gonna say it's fine. Probs won't do it again. The entire situation is strange. I'm glad I smoked weed with Celeste once, but I won't be doing it again. She can put away ungodly amounts of marijuana. It does not appear to affect her demeanor even a little bit. Like, I am borderline needing to go to the hospital, and she has smoked twice as much as me, and she's like, well, I'm normal. I'd be like, Celeste, you are a demon from hell. On a surface level, it's fine. It's just off-putting, and I don't want to do that again. I don't want to feel like I'm participating in some kind of, like, psychological mind games. I felt like a lab rat, and she was studying me, and that's not how I want to feel when I smoke weed. Genocide Jack / Jill. My own personal hell. I do not want to smoke marijuana with that bitch. Her tongue is gonna come out of her mouth and wrap around a blunt like 8 times. I don't wanna do that. Hyoko. That's also my own personal hell. I would need to do everything for her, and she would complain about every part of the process the entire time, and she would be a mooch, and she would be a bitch to me. So. I also think there's a really good chance that she would get super scared and then also blame me for that, even though it was her choice to smoke weed. She'd be like, what did you do to me? And I'd be like, I didn't do anything to you. She's like, this is your fault, bitch. And when I say that I don't want to smoke with her or I'm busy that day, she just breaks in my room and steals my weed. Junko. Putting Junko in the top tier. Would smoking weed with Junko be a nightmare? Objectively, yes. For entertainment purposes, it would be incredible. Smoking weed with Junko would be like watching a car crash. It's horrific, but you just can't look away. It's a nightmare every time. But you're gonna keep smoking weed with her. Mikan, weird. She's very like blubbery and nervous and trips over herself. And then once she gets high, she just gets like weird. See, the thing about Mikan is that her insecurities kind of keep a leash on her. If she wasn't so, like, bumbling and insecure and had such low self-esteem, she would be a lot more dangerous. And I feel like if Mikan smokes weed, her inhibitions will be down. I don't want to fall asleep on the couch and wake up to Mikan, I don't know, experimenting on my unconscious body. I don't know. She freaks me out. Hajime, good, chill, fun. Hajime is just a normal dude who likes to smoke the marijuana. Monokuma. I'm smoking weed with Monokuma. Monokuma's got good weed. He's a good time. He'd be like, "You ever think about murdering children?" And I'd be like, "Sometimes, baby. Sometimes." Monokuma goes in good, chill, fun. I want to smoke weed with that robot bear more than anything. Sonia, never mind. Sonia is also good, chill, fun. The only thing about her is that, she's a, princess since birth. So now she's going through stages. She's figuring herself out. She's figuring out how to be a teenager without the title of princess slapped over everything. So Sonia is going through a lot of stages, and one of them is she smokes weed once and then becomes like a hashtag stoner, and like makes her whole personality for a while. She immediately buys those socks with the pot leaves on them, and I think people call them different things when you're in different regions. Where I'm from, we call it a drug rug, this sweatshirt. So Sonia's going in good, chill, fun, even though she's like almost too into it. Sakura. Sakura and I smoke weed in complete and utter silence. We do not say a single word to each other the entire time. It's perfect. Sakura goes in good, chill, fun. Makoto. Makoto is also in good, chill, fun, but Makoto is like psychologically incapable of operating a bong himself, so he needs someone to do everything for him while he just inhales. And no matter who is operating the bong for him, it is always like weirdly intimate. Like there's a little tension there. No matter who is doing the bong for him, it could be anybody. It just kind of creates a vibe. And I'm always like, should I be here? Like, should I leave? But the more I smoke weed with Makoto, I'm like, oh no. There's just something about Makoto having a bong done for him that's just like a little freaky for some reason. When I was in high school, I used to host exchange students, and we had a group of exchange students from Spain, and all of them, the whole group of them, there was like 20, and they were all over each other. Like every field trip we went on, they'd be holding hands, they'd be sitting on each other's laps on the bus, like they're always cuddling each other and like kissing each other on the cheeks. And like we the Americans thought we had some of the relationships like pieced together. We're like, okay, this person's dating this person. And then immediately the next day, they'd be holding hands with somebody else. And we were like, what is happening here? And all of them were like, oh, none of us are in a relationship with anybody else in this group. This is just the way that we are. Like, Spain is just a more affectionate culture than America, I guess. So we were like, oh. Like, all of the Americans were misreading their platonic affection for romantic, because that's just how we are. But looking back on it, like, it wasn't just holding hands and like cuddling and hugging and stuff. They all like had vibes with each other. Like it was just a sort of like romantic, intimate culture that we didn't know how to like compartmentalize here. And that is Makoto with everybody else. Like you truly feel like he has vibes with everybody. And he like does, but it's not a thing. Like it's just Makoto and everybody else. Like that's just his intimate energy with everyone. You know what I mean? I'm putting him in good, chill, fun, but Sayaka. Sayaka is out smoking everyone on this list put together. Sayaka, I think, is one of those people who like does not know how to relax. She gets 2 minutes to herself and she's like, I should be doing something. Like she can't just sit and hang out, so she smokes weed. Big fucking stoner. Putting her in good, chill, fun. Chihiro. I think Chihiro wants to smoke weed alone in their room by themselves, and smoking weed with someone, with me, makes them anxious, so they're kind of like weird and like on edge. And so I'm gonna put Chihiro in It's Fine, Probs Won't Do It Again, just because I like feel bad. Because I find out they smoke weed, and I'm like, oh, smoke with me, and they're like, okay. And then it's just like, oh, they're uncomfortable. Now I feel bad. So it's fine. Probs won't do it again. Chiro just wants to smoke weed alone in their room, and I respect that. Owie. Owie finds out I smoke weed, and I just burped. And it's like, I want to try that. I've never done that before. Let me try. And I do, and it's fun. Figuring out how to smoke the Mary Jane together. I'm putting Owie in Good Chill Fun. Alter Ego. I'm putting Alter Ego in Good Chill Fun because the idea of Alter Ego smoking a computer blunt is hilarious. Ripping a digital bong. Digital Bong would be a good band name. Let's go on the list. I have a list of random phrases that would make good band names. So, Digital Bong going on the list. Editor's note. I said Alter Ego in the video, but my brain, while I'm editing, supplied me with the imposter. So I put the imposter's photo in, and then I kept watching, and I started talking about digital blunts and bongs, and I was like, why would the imposter smoke digital marijuana? Why? And then I realized the mistake that I had made. Further evidence that I'm not making up my neurological issues. Abuki. Abuki I feel like would be annoying. She'd be like really hyper, and she would take one hit and not inhale, and she'd be like, wow, I'm so high. And I'd be like, no, you're not. I'm putting her in It's Fine, I Won't Do It Again. She's just like too much while I'm high. Like, I'm getting overstimulated. Taka. That is a nightmare. Taka is going in My Own Personal Hell. He would be freaking the fuck out the entire time. Hyperventilating. He would take a hit that was too big and he'd start gagging. It would be a fucking nightmare. I smoked weed with my friend once, and her mom is like super strict. And we were sitting there high, and she was like, my mom keeps calling me, she keeps texting me, like, I think we need to go home, or I don't know, like, she's freaking me out, she keeps calling me. And I looked at her phone, and she had no calls and no texts from her mom, and I was like, do you want to go home? Like, you don't have to make up an excuse, like, we can leave. And she was like, no, I don't want to leave, it's my mom. And I was like, you're literally hallucinating that. That's what Taka would do. He'd be like, my dad knows that I've smoked weed, he keeps calling me, and you'd look at his phone and there would be 0 texts and calls. And you'd be like, Taka, you are so paranoid right now, you're like borderline hallucinating, I need you to calm down. Breathe. Kyoko. Kyoko is like Sakura, where we do not speak at all. And it rules. Mahiru. I think Mahiru would be like kind of a hypocrite, where she would complain about the weed smell all the time, and I'd be like, well, fair, but I guess she's against smoking weed because she's been kind of rude about it. And then you find out she smokes weed, and it's like, oh, so you just don't like when other people do it? Okay. I think she would also do that thing, I've done this before, where she would try to like make a joke, and it would kind of fall flat, and it would just kind of come off as like mean instead of like funny or teasing. And you'd be like, wow, Mahiru's kind of being a fucking dick right now. Yeah. I just think her vibes are not suited to this activity. So she's going in weird. Apple Watch, do not tell me what to do. Nekumaru. I think Nekumaru would be way into... Sorry, I keep fucking with my hair extensions. Ow! I think Nekumaru would be way into, like, CBD and hemp. And he would be like, oh, I just had a crazy workout. Like, this will be good for my muscles. But then he's smoking weed. So he'd switch over to, like, oh no, inhaling smoke is bad for my lungs. And I think he would just keep switching back and forth between those things. And it would be annoying. I'm going to put Nekumaru in It's Fine, Probs Won't Do It Again. Nekumaru is one of many people on this list where he would go in the does not smoke weed category, but he is being forced to smoke weed. Monokuma's killing game, except instead of killing, it's you're forced to smoke weed or else you die. Teru Teru. Nightmare. My Own Personal Hell. Teru Teru freaks out just like Taka. He gets insanely paranoid. You'd be sitting there and you'd be like, how you feeling, Teru Teru? And he would be like, there's cameras everywhere and my mom can see me doing this. My mom is watching me right now. She can see me smoking weed. They're watching me. Everyone's watching me. There's cameras. And you'd be like, Teru Teru? Shut the fuck up. There ain't shit. He would be freaking out. Freaking out. So paranoid. he would hear an ambulance like 4 miles away and he'd be like, "Oh, the cops know we're smoking weed." No, they don't. The imposter. The imposter is hard to pin down because they aren't their own person. They are a person pretending to be other people. All of my imposter takes are, of course, based on the imposter pretending to be Byakuya. So I feel like smoking weed with the imposter would be a little funny because once they aren't in like a clear state of mind, they would kind of forget that they're supposed to be Byakuya. So they'd be sitting there quietly and then be like, "You are a commoner and you are beneath me." Like once every half an hour. Like they'd be high and then they'd be like, "Fuck, I'm supposed to be Byakuya. Say something Byakuya like." So they just like say something random that makes no sense in the conversation or in the situation, and then they would just be quiet again for another 15 to 20. In my world, where I decide what is canon and what is not, the imposter is big on harm reduction when it comes to doing drugs. So while the imposter doesn't like the idea of me or us smoking weed, they insist on getting weed from a dispensary and not from a dealer because they are afraid that it will be laced. So I'm putting the imposter in good, chill fun because it would be entertaining. Well, here are the final results. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for everything. I'm going to hit 4K soon, which is incredible. So I will be doing a 4K Q&A. If you want to ask me questions for the Q&A, there will be a link in the description where you can send anonymous questions, or you can just comment right on this video and like say it's for the Q&A. Thank you. I love you. Goodbye.